Makes your drive home on Hot 103. Folks, looks like that storm is headed right for us. Gonna put some gas in my Furman generator, stop by the ABC Fine Wine and Spirits, and of course, watch Mike's weather page. Y'all stay safe out there.
Tropics rage. You'll always have a friend here. Mike's weather page. Mike's weather page. Mike's weather page. Mike's weather page. And he'll keep you safe. He'll keep it locked. Mike's weather page. Storms there with Hunter and Louis too. But you know he'll keep you straight at 919 there every day. 1 million fans get it wrong and we're here in Mike's weather page.
What's up, everybody? Good morning. I haven't played this song in a while. This was some intense moments from Ian. Let me tell you what. I was in Rotunda, and we almost didn't get out of Rotunda. It was a very scary couple hours there. Let me tell you what. It was not stressful. It was a little stressful. Not stressful. Ian, my goodness. Well, how's everybody doing? Good morning. It's Tuesday, Taco Tuesday, Louie. He's yelling at me in my ear. Hope everybody's doing good today. What's cooking, Cara? Nothing cooking yet. I'd love to eat a lot of food, but you know, the older you get, the less you eat. I'd love me some bacon. No bacon for me. Good morning, Miss Shelley Ross over there on the other coast. Good morning, Kitchen. Another day closer to the GHC. Furman's got 2 booths this year. We're excited about. We will talk about the Alabama Gulf Coast, Kelsey. Heck yeah, we got to talk about tropics. We have Raphael. Another day talking tropics. Brandon, I have to agree with you. I am Frenchie for life. What's up, Marcia? What's up, MWP Brew Crewers? All you subscribers out there, make sure you look for that email that Shelly sends out and join our MWP chat. It's an intimate little place. It's not a dating site. So anyway, we got a lot to talk about, a little bit talk about, a lot to talk about, a little bit talk about, a little bit, lot of bit, little bit. Nothing to stress anybody out in the lower 48. Going to be some weather to talk about, yes, but nothing like we've had. How about that? Impacts will always happen, even with normal afternoon thunderstorms. But when we do stripe now. Oh, Lisa says we look alike. We got the matching sheriff's hats. Remember we put this on Louis the other day. So I got one of these was for this was Louis's hat, but I'll put it on. This one's Hunter's hat. You keep this on. You show them how good you are. All right, stay. All right, put your head down. Here, look at Daddy. All right, we're gonna be twins. Look over here. Look over here, Louis. Right there. Look right here. Look at Daddy. No, you're good. You're good. You're good. Stay right there. All right. So we gotta do the side pose. That's what we'll do. We'll be like Buford T. Justice and his kid wearing the hats and Smokey and the Bandit. There. Anyway, we do look alike. We're buddies. Not buddies. Oh, Lordy. Well, let's talk a little bit. Mike Soul, that's funny. What's going to happen? Yeah, we're going to get into it for sure. We take our time, though. You need to be patient. We usually wrap things up around 10 o'clock. Got a couple things I want to talk about coming up for sure. But anyway, our Daily Brew, what is that? It's a place we come meet most every day. We'll be streaming a few days a week. One in the off season, maybe Tuesday, Thursday this year. Unless there's weather. Been doing it since 2016. Website's been around since 2004. 20 years of Mike's Weather Page. Can you believe it? Big thanks to ABC Fine Wine and Spirits supporting us for 6 years now. Local Florida. Owned and operated here. Great family. And I love this picture, especially today, Election Day. Palm trees and blue skies. Hey, we got something fun coming up this weekend. November the 9th from my good friends from TBBC here in my hometown of Oldsmar at the Oldsmar Library. They had to move it because of the hurricane. Huge tent will be set up. They have 70 plus brewers from around the United States that are coming down Saturday. Okay, Saturday the 9th. Details, just Google it. Bass Beer Fest TBBC and you get all the details. One ticket gets you in and you can sample as much as you want. There'll be some entertainment there and fun times. It's the 10th annual. So that's this Saturday. The weather should be great for that Saturday. Coming up. Let's take a look at Raphael while we say a few more hellos. Hey, what's up, Sam? I don't know about the ads. That's a Facebook thing. Brian Bowles, good morning. Gulf Shores. Yeah, I don't understand. The cone's tricky. We'll talk about that cone here. We got a couple different scenarios showing here for future tracks of Raphael. Snowing out West Herald. Oh, my goodness. Morning, Miss Sherry Brown. Megan, Rosemary Beach. Where's Rosemary Beach at? What's up, Somerville, South Carolina? Looks a little organized, Carrie. It does. That's what it looks like right now. It's expected to possibly rapidly intensify today. It's just south of Jamaica right now. Unfortunately, they're getting a lot of rain and wind right now. You can see where it's at. It's starting to spin. The Caymans, unfortunately, are going to get a hurricane later to start dealing with soon. And then Cuba. So, Larry from the Starbucks. Hello, Disney folks. I heard Disney watches us, so hello, Disney. I wanted to pitch to Disney instead of the Tropics in a Nutshell, do Tropics and Mickey Mouse ears. I'm always looking for, sponsors. Oh, do I think it's going to hit Florida? Well, it could hit Panhandle. It's going to skirt by the Keys. Still going to be impacts regardless. So we can get into that. All right, buddy, I'm putting you down. I'm sure everybody's anxious. Don't be anxious. LSU game. I know everybody's worried about the games, that's for sure. Not a stressful storm in the upper Gulf Coast, but it could still have some winds. It still got some 50, 60 mile an hour winds up there in the Gulf, so we never downplay any impacts. That's for sure. One more thing I want to bring up. Mark your calendars for November 30th. Saturday, November 30th here in Oldsmar. 5 to 8 p.m. It's going to be our Neighbors Helping Neighbors end of season benefit. Okay, going to be a big deal. State of Florida's coming down. Furman's flying in. ABC. Many others. All the money is going to be going to the Florida Disaster Relief Fund that's set up by the state of Florida, and we're going to have all that money raffles, win some crazy good stuff. We're going to have music. OMG Wicks is going to be here. We've got Dylan Hubbard donating a basket. We're going to have entertainment. It's a way for MWP to give back. It's going to be an annual tradition that we can raise a lot of money and have it go to some good. So hopefully we can see you there. And then we're going to have an after party after unlimited beer. So November 30th. All right. Bubble. Look at that, man. We got some big towering cloud tops. Definitely getting some organization out here. You can see very well defined center now, beginning with some massive convection going on right there at the center. So it's definitely organizing. It's expected to possibly rapidly intensify in November. What's up with that? Yes, November. Here's the infrared satellite. Wow, right? These black cloud tops are tall cloud tops. You can see that really getting going. There's very light wind shear. Water is as warm as it is in the peak season, so we might see this thing really rapidly intensify today. So we're going to be keeping our eyes on the hurricane hunters and what kind of data that they show. So, yeah, it's going to be big. You can see it clear as day on the wind map here. We got a strong high pressure system locked in. This is what's steering this thing. So if you're wondering why it's so windy across the Keys and the Bahamas and the East Coast, we got a very strong high pressure system here that is steering our system basically that direction. This is all why it's windy out currently. There's our frontal line that's pulling it a little bit to the north. But if you're wondering why it's windy down in the Keys, it's only going to get windier. So a little funny story. I switched my major from USF from engineering to marketing because A, I didn't understand calculus. And B, the Budweiser Frogs came out that year, and I was absolutely in love with commercials at the Super Bowl. So I was like, that is me, marketing. Bud. Wise. Remember that? The whole world stopped. They're like, wise. It was the best marketing ever. Oh, my God. All right, so there's what it looks like. We got a lot of spinach out there just southwest of Jamaica. Big winds are on the west side of the island right now currently. All right, here's the official track. We'll have a new one here in about an hour. Oh, actually, you know what? We'll get one here while we're live, because one thing that's weird about our show, we've noticed over the years, when we get into November with the time change, everything's an hour earlier now. So now we're going to get a new track here at 10:30, and I don't think we're going to see anything major change. We still got tropical storm watches in the Keys. So yeah, I think they're really torn about what's going on up here. You know, we have a lot of the models doing this. We have a lot of them doing that. So we have a really big spread. But most of them are doing that. S, meaning a weakening system, hopefully by landfall. A lot of dry air, cooler waters, and wind shear. But it could be 90-mile-an-hour hurricane just off the coast of the Keys here. Thursday a.m. early. But that's the latest track. I'll leave this up because we'll do a refresh here in about 15 minutes. Might be a hurricane soon. All right. Here's a cool little graphic. This is a 5-day track history from the National Hurricane Center. This is from someone, Brian Tang's website. Brian Tang, University of Albany. These are your last 6 official forecasts from the National Hurricane Center, and very little change in track thinking. So you like to see that. High confidence of this thing continuing. The big question is going to be, what are they going to show up here? And we'll get into all these possibilities, all right? This is your wind maps as far as when you might start seeing tropical storm force winds with percentages. But you can definitely see the orange is a big part of the Keys. 50-60% chance you can see tropical storm force winds as you get closer to the coast. But we're going to see some feeder bands probably rotating in throughout the state. So you're probably going to see some of these stronger feeder bands throughout the day here on Wednesday. I put that out there with the Storm Prediction Center earlier. But the earliest, it's slowed down a little bit. Wednesday overnight, tonight, you might start to feel some tropical storm force winds. By tomorrow morning, yes, 8 a.m. Wednesday, some of these feeder bands are going to be pushing ashore here tomorrow morning. And we might see some of these up in the upper Gulf Coast. Wednesday night, for our area tomorrow, Tampa Bay area, you could see a passing feeder band, squall line, and going into Thursday and then Friday. So that's kind of an idea of when you might see a strong line of storms from this without a direct hit. Now this only goes out to Thursday. This is only 59 hours, but basically shows you the big winds just offshore. These are Natural Weather Service wind map. Just kind of gives you an idea what you might expect. Most of these big winds are going to be coming from thunderstorms. The sustained winds are just off the coast of Key West here. If this thing, wiggled a little bit to the east, it changes a lot. So 20, 30 mile shift will bring a lot more chances of some a little bit more surge. And I think they were calling for 1 to 3 foot here in our area. Still, a little bit, but the Keys, right there. So it's going to be windy in Keys regardless. Maybe South Florida. Rainfall, real quick. This is just kind of showing you what's happening. We got Caymans, unfortunately, with 8+ inches of rain. We got a lot of folks there in the islands that watch us. John, if you're watching, hello, John. Willie, what's up? What's up, Willie? Willie, I like Willie. Euro AI, well, look about it. No one cares about this hurricane. It's not hitting Florida. Jeez. That's why I hate reading comments. Hope for no surge. Definitely need a break, Paul, in Inglewood. Obviously, I don't think... the time thing. Yeah, that's when it starts. I got to fix that, Shelly. Good point. So who was it in our Brew Crew chat that brought that up? That's when it starts. But you're right. Somebody suggested that, a live time map. I don't know. That's a great idea. But anyway. Amy, Florida Keys. We'll get down there one day. Philip Love from the Cozumel. Tornado risk, I do believe, Jeffrey. We're going to get into that. So these are big rains, unfortunately, for the short term. All right. Here's a tornado map. I was a little surprised today to see this. Not surprised. I knew it. But usually the Storm Prediction Center doesn't ever give yellow. Level 3 out of 5. So there's your middle Keys westward. Could see some strong feeder bands, water spouts, turn into tornadoes, okay? And these actually include parts of South Florida, Naples, Fort Myers, Cape Coral area, maybe some in Venice. Dark green is level 1. So yeah, we're going to see stronger feeder bands tomorrow as this thing skirts by. Definitely. Isolated tornadoes officially in the wording. Officially. So you always watch for tornadoes with feeder bands with hurricanes. Always. I measured it earlier in case I forget. Oh, I got it up here. I can show you here. So Withlacoochee, I know. We don't want any more rain in Withlacoochee. Well, I had to go to Gainesville yesterday, and I got back home, but obviously I'm home. But man, the water right around that Dade City area is still laid around. I couldn't believe it off the interstate. I still see the water everywhere. Woo! How's it going, Ian? Ian over there? Ian? 3 inches in 4 hours. Holy cow. We got to show that possibility of some big rain. Cedar Key area, we'll talk about it. We're getting there. We're getting there. Oh, thank you, Eric Wink. Yeah, well, man, it's going to be windy for y'all starting tonight. So, tornado chances, yes. And that's not a scare tactic. Somebody argued with me earlier. Like, well, I didn't make the map. All right, so here's a graphic I put together a little bit ago. These are your latest higher resolution hurricane models, okay? And the point of this model is just basically to show you a couple things. One is your H-Wharf, H-Mon, and Haas are all showing 982, 975, 977, 972. That's pretty strong hurricane coming off Cuba, okay? Very important. We have a lot of Floridians that boat. We have people that cruise. We have people in the Keys. These are going to be feeder bands. And always on the east side of storms, you have stronger feeder bands. And look, tomorrow, some of these are reaching into Florida, especially coming in towards the Keys. So these are the ones you got to watch right here. This is what we're going to be watching. All this right here spirals in, and they're the ones you got to watch. We don't know. Remember Milton, out of the blue, we started getting tornadoes. Debbie, tornadoes. Beryl, tornadoes, right? Tornadoes happen. The atmosphere is pretty unstable. We have a high pressure system that's coming across. It's going to be merging with this. We're going to have a lot of upper level shear, a lot of instability in the atmosphere. It's going to be daytime heating on Wednesday tomorrow. You already know it's in the upper 80s down there. So yeah, I think some of these are going to be sneaky strong. The reason we might not be in a tropical storm warning is sustained winds possibly won't be tropical storm, but strong feeder bands are always what you worry about in any storm. So it's so important how close this gets to Florida. Closer to Florida, more chances of these feeder bands and possible surge. Farther away, less effects. But, this is the point I've been trying to, just show is, some of these bands are showing up into Florida, So, radar tomorrow will be really interesting when you go to bed at night, when you wake up. I think we're already seeing some down there, actually. So we'll be watching for that. Even though the storm isn't making a direct hit, we're going to see some nasty weather tomorrow, more than likely. And that's going to be this is tomorrow. Definitely warm down the Keys, Jessica. The water's hot. Let me tell you. There's no talking points right now from Tampa Bay South saying the water's cold. It is not cold. The ocean heat content's hot. What is this? Oh, I got an appointment today. Tuesday, November 5th. Yeah, I got an appointment today. Darn it. I got to get a damn yearly skin check. I went 5 years or so without getting my skin checked, and then Buffett died, and I went and got my skin checked because he had a form of skin cancer. And the lady told me a lot of people did. So in honor of Jimmy, I get my skin checked now. And my buddy Drew Garabo, in my honor of Drew Garabo, had to fight a cancer battle for a long time. I got my colonoscopy because of him. So anyway, that's later today. All right, so there you go. Other things I have popped up here. This is a really cool site. This is zoom.earth. I love this site. So be careful on the bottom here. It defaults to the icon and it defaults to the GFS. But it has the cone on it. I don't think I showed this much during our other coverage. I always learn stuff new. But as we go in time here, you can see the cone of the NHC and where the GFS is thinking of going. And that's what I like about this. So you can see the GFS is a little bit east of the NHC cone. I think I saw a lot of people confused one of the hurricanes, and they couldn't understand this was doing that because it was defaulting to the icon. And if the icon's saying something different, then everybody's like, oh, this is only a model overlaid to the National Hurricane Center, which is still really cool. But what you can see here is this. This would be tomorrow evening. There's your latest GFS, a little east of the cone. What's cool here is the distance between Key West and the eye is about 160 miles. So that gives you the idea how far away it is from the Keys. So hurricane force winds won't extend out 160 miles. They rarely do. Now, tropical storm force winds could. Hurricane winds usually 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 miles maybe, 50 miles max maybe. So the hurricane force winds won't be there. But still an interesting little tool, right? And then we can go forward in time, and you can just see the GFS, staying a little east of the NHC track. And the NHC is a good model. The NHC is stuck because they have to show the Euro, and the Euro is way off to the west. So it's kind of what it did with Ian. The GFS was so wrong, but it has to be used in the cone. So it's making the cone do this. If you threw out the Euro and UK, the cone would not be that. So we'll see what the heck the new cone does here in a second. And we can always look at the discussion first. A little tidbit here is read a discussion. That comes out first. And you kind of know what they're thinking before the cone comes out. So that's kind of interesting. And another thing too, the angle of approach is so different, compared to, a storm coming in like this. The water's kind of pushing this way. So the surge isn't as magnified as it is when it's coming in at a different angle. So that's a good news thing. Farther away is good news for less surge, and the angle's good news for less surge. Now we can see some surge down here. We're seeing surge piling up already up here, but as far as surge here, with the storm going that direction, Now we might see some issues up this way if it does turn in the 96 hour. I'm going to show you. We could still have a 70 mile an hour storm possibly reaching the coast. So that'll be something we watch. But as far as the big surge on the Florida West Coast, the angle away from the state helps, and the distance obviously helps. All right, so let's look at the latest models. 12Z. All right, so we got this zigzag. All right, we got this high pressure obviously in place now. There's a high pressure here. They're going to combine, and it's going to make a little bubble, and it's going to kind of shove our system more off to the west. But then a front comes in and most likely, historically, turns it up. Okay, the Euro, the UK, showing a very weak system, and both going off west. So yeah, could happen, but it's tricking the models. So your consensus model doesn't know what to do because you got some going this way, you got some going that way. The good news is this. All of them are about right here showing a weakening system. So that's good news. The farther north it goes and the longer it stays in the Gulf, it's going to be experiencing some wind shear. So, and some dry air. The dry air is showing up pretty good on satellite. So anyway, there's your latest models. Now, the only thing tricky is I shared earlier, 96 hour, the NHC was still showing 70 mile an hour down here. So if this thing got a little faster and turned, it could be a little quicker or a little more strength because the NHC was showing right here, 96 hour, 70 miles an hour. You see 96 hours and a couple of these already up here. So, we could still see some sneaky winds is what I'm getting at up that way. Nothing that you probably haven't experienced in the past. But again, every system's a little different. That dry air I'm talking about, you can always see it really well on Tropical Tidbits. Then we'll look at all the models here. I just want to look at the dry air real quick to kind of show you what it looks like. Dry air, you can look at the 700 millibar maps here. Just kind of give you an idea of humidity. But basically, as our system gets pulled up, we got a lot of dry air on the backside. So, it's going to be drying out. A lot of folks are worried about football. The good news is with this dry air, this is Saturday morning. It's going to be moving fast. Here's Saturday night. All of Alabama, well, half Alabama, all of Mississippi, all of Louisiana potentially has nothing. So with this dry air coming, it eventually, now Sunday's phenomenal. It's going to be long gone by Sunday. But the dry air usually helps dry up a system too. So, there's really nothing showing this thing maintaining anything too strong once it gets up that far north. Oh, let's see if we got a new model yet. No 10 a.m. yet. Let's go to discussion. No. Oh, we got 10 a.m. discussion. All right, so let's read this. Still 90 mile an hour. Still 70 mile an hour, 96 hour. Convection has increased. Tongue of dry air. Starting to get a better eye. Let's see. Motion northwest. Significant spread and track guidance after Cuba. So they don't know what to do, they said, basically. They're just splitting right down the middle. So they really didn't change much. I don't know if they added any warnings yet for Keys or not really. Oh, tropical storm warning for the Florida Keys now. So everybody's phones go off for the Keys. Anybody live in the Keys, your phones just went off. So now we got tropical storm warnings in the Keys. We'll have a new graphic in a second. All right, some other stuff. Let's look at intensity models. This is tricky too. This kind of helps show you what's going on. If you look at 96 hours, you know, most everyone is below hurricane strength. So that's the good news. So, you know, what it does up here, maybe Cat 2, maybe Cat 3. Definitely will bring more impacts to, you know, the Gulf waters close to the Keys, bigger squall lines, bigger feeder bands. I think that's going to be tricky. I think there's going to be a lot of surprises with these feeder bands tomorrow in South Florida. But, you know, 96 hour, everything's below hurricane strength and a weakening. So that's good confidence. Some of the latest Canadian tracks here on Tropical Tidbits. These are CMC tracks. Basically, you know, the black line is the average. Kind of going up there, turning, you know, and definitely with dry air on this side of our system, everything's going to be on the eastern side. All the heavy rains. So wherever the center ends up going, you're going to have all the big action on the east side. And again, should not be a hurricane that far north. Tropical storm, yes. Hurricane, no. So if this bend continues, you will be under a tropical storm warning. The upper Gulf Coast. Guaranteed you will be under tropical storm warning. Here's some more. The euro, completely the outlier again, like it was with barrel. The euro's had a rough year. Don't know what's going on with the euro. Maybe it's right. Hasn't been right all year. But there you go. Most of the euros are doing a due west track after exiting Cuba. Latest GFS is showing you kind of that little zigzag back up toward the upper Gulf Coast. So I guess it could still go west, but, you know, we'll see. I want to show you the hurricane-specific models here before we get to 10 o'clock hour. Is it going more east? No, I don't think they did it. There's our Badass Beer Fest, by the way, this weekend. I'm trying to find. I thought I had it open. There it is. All right, we'll see if the. I want to see if the new image is up. There's a new image. I don't know if it shifted at all or not. I don't know. Can't tell. Cone is relatively unchanged. They're just splitting the gap. You got the euro, and you got the GFS. And that's what they're saying. If you take out the GFS, this is the track. Like that. So that's why the cone is so big on day 5 and day 3 here. And remember, the track bubble can extend as we get over in time. It's not, and it's slowing down a little bit. So yeah, it's a tricky forecast up there. But let's look at all the models and kind of give you an idea what it looks like. So so here's your latest HWRF. These are on Tropical Tidbits. Just showing you developing system. 983 over the Caymans. 972. That's pretty strong. Crosses Cuba. 978. This is why we have tropical